Oh shit. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Late for the Party Live on Anchor FM. I am your host, Melodious, aka Coverboy, the Modern Marvel. We're going to get into, we're just going to get into pretty much a discussion about mostly fighting games and everything, because, you know, most of my YouTube channel now is going to be basically focusing on video games, also talk about TV shows as well, but also Late for the Party. It's going to be splitting between Face for Radio and Anchor FM. So Anchor FM is going to be holding most of my Face for Radio episodes, which will be talking about stuff like Wallflower Journal or Elephant in the Room. If you guys go through my catalog, you'll understand, like, most of that will be more like the serious topics that I talk about, like, you know, like mental health and life stuff and whatnot. So the links will be in the description once I upload everything to my social media, so you guys could check that out. But anyway, let me put my 2 cents glasses on, because I know I need to see in the process. But also, you guys are watching this on if you guys are actually watching this on basically on Facebook as well, because I'm actually recording both on YouTube, and sometimes just want to make sure I have a backup in case of the computer goes wonky or anything like that mid-flight. So either way, man, we are going to talk about Streets of Rage 4. Now, if anybody's into gaming and all that stuff right now, all the updates from all fighting games so far, if anybody's a fighting game head, like a Street Fighter, anything like that, man, Street Fighter's got an update, Skullgirl's got an update, freaking Dragon Ball FighterZ and Dragon Ball Xenoverse, even Tekken got a new update, and all of this is mostly dropping in early spring. King of Fighters is coming out. I mean, they keep dropping content every chance they get, and it's a beautiful time to be a fighting game head. But the only thing that's getting to me right now is wondering, where the hell is Streets of Rage 4? I don't get it. Streets of Rage 4, I mean, it's not your typical fighting game. It's a side-scrolling brawler, but it's still technically in some aspect of considered a fighting game if you put it in that category. But you know, my thing is, where is the update? Like, we're already about to be out of February and it's about to be strolling in to March by at least next week. And, dude, like, where is the update? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Where is the update? Like, I don't get it. Like, this is one of the games that probably, to me personally, is probably the best game, one of the best games 2020, bar none. Considering the fact that, like, 2020, we gotten Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm rocking with a PS4 at this moment. We got Final Fantasy Remake. We got some hitters. We got Miles Morales. I mean, but I think, to me, the sleeper game of that year has to be Streets of Rage 4, bar none. I mean, keep in mind, we've been waiting for this game for quite some time. Like, this is one of the games I literally stopped playing Final Fantasy VII Remake just so I could play this game. You know, I've been anticipating Streets of Rage 4 long before anybody was anticipating Final Fantasy VII. So, man, so that's saying a lot. Man, I just want to hear something. I mean, .emu, I'm pretty sure they got their hands full. I mean, they already did the whole Windjammer. They got Windjammers 2 already up on Steam, and, you know, I need to rock. I mean, I don't have Steam. I mean, PC, but eventually that'll change. But but for me, I think just with Streets of Rage 4, it was one of those games you could just turn on, you know, take your frustration out on Mania, even if you win or lose. I even put some updates of me playing the game on the YouTube channel. So, I mean, give it a gander. I mean, this is one of those games, like, definitely And I've even put my thoughts about what kind of DLC that it should be popping out or something. Like since most brawlers don't really have too many well, Brawlers hasn't really been out too much other than if you're playing anything like River City Ransom stuff. I mean, hell, even freaking Scott Pilgrim versus the World did a rehash of their game. So I mean, and that game been out way before Streets of Rage was. So, but I mean, my thing is with Streets of Rage 4 and how it's set up. Like, of course, it's like they're doing this hand drawn. So I'm not trying to really apply any pressure. I mean, I can't even apply pressure. All they got pressure on themselves. But my thing is, where is the least the update of when it's possible of when this game is going to come out? And my thing is, they say the game is going to come out. I mean, well, they say the DLC. I should say DLC, but they should say the DLC is coming out, but we don't know when when. I mean, those to be announced. We don't know when, but we'll let you know. Like, I hate that shit. Let's just be forthcoming about how when you sit here and talk about your system is going to be coming out. I mean, like when your game or when your DLC is coming out, but we'll tell you when we have an idea. No, fuck that. I'm a firm believer. If you're not going to say anything, don't say anything at all. Because if you're sitting here trying to get more shock value for anticipation points, I mean, or vice versa, yeah, pretty much. Anticipation, like anticipating the fact that it's gonna pop out. Like, come on. Like sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not. And let's not even talk about like how Cyberpunk, like, it's like we've been waiting for this game for years, and then next thing you know, it's like the moment you get it on freaking PlayStation or any Xbox or PlayStation or Xbox, it's running like trash. So my thing is, when you're in a system, when you're playing something like that, it's one thing. But when you got something like Streets of Rage and how it's done, like just animated wise, hand drawn wise, it's a beautiful game. Anybody who says otherwise, they can kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? Definitely one of the best looking games that I've played. I mean, if it was like hand drawn's probably one of the best looking games I've actually played. But it's like, okay, they'll see what should you look forward to for the DLC, especially if we're waiting this long, because there's a lot of like Streets of Rage heads out there right now waiting for this game to come out. So my thing is, okay, if we're waiting for it, okay, there's got to be a DLC. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some characters play. I mean, it's going to be a little different when you're doing super moves and everything, and like how everybody's running or something. Like my predictions are like even some updates to even like, give certain people certain aspects. Like give, how you give Cherry a run, like how she can run, and her dad Adam, he can do a little boxing dash. Give maybe maybe give freaking Axel a little roll, a way to roll into a fight or something, a little hop back or something, because he does run kind of slow. I mean, he's not that much of a heavy person like Floyd is, but he shouldn't be as slow as molasses. I mean, in that aspect. But either way, but that thing. For DLC, I mean, for characters, obviously Estelle, the policewoman, obviously everybody wants to see her in action. I mean, that's probably one of the DLCs that most likely will pop up on the grid. Max and Shiva. So far, we got little sprites of the drawings in the little extra section once you go into like options, and where you could see like the classifications, what kind of speed and strength there are. So obviously, if they're in their little heroes section like that, to where they have their little sprites and everything else, it's obviously that they're going to be coming pretty soon in the game. So I mean, look, I'm not being picky, but damn, I mean, Streets of Rage 2 is probably one of my favorite games, bar none. Probably one of the greatest games to me of all times. I mean, it's well rounded. The music's off the hook. I mean, you can get on it with friends. And honestly, I still say between Streets of Rage 2 and Streets of Rage 4, Streets of Rage 4 is right up there with Streets of Rage 2. If I classified all the Streets of Rage games in order and like which ones were the best, I'd say Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 4, Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 4, and Streets of Rage 1 and 3. So, but there's ways, and I mean, I'm pretty sure they're working on it, but I mean, I don't want to be griping on it too much, and I don't want to be too hard pressed, but give me something. Give me an update. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, there's going to be like new stages, new stages. If we got like three or four new characters, where the hell is Eddie Hunter? You know what I'm saying? Where's Skate? Haven't heard a damn thing about him. Obviously, it's about 10 years after the events of, I want to say, Streets of Rage 2 and 3, because you don't really know how far Streets of Rage 3 is from 2. But, because now they have like cyborgs and shit running around. So, I mean, you really don't know. But my thing is, where, like, give us something. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give us a hint, like of when it might be coming out. So, all right. But I'm going to get into the next segment, because the next segment is obviously going to be about fighting games. But I already ran almost like 13 minutes on this. So either way, this is the Late for the Party live on the YouTube channel. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't been subscribing or sharing or commenting yet, but please do so. The links will be in the description once I upload everything to my social media. Also, you can check out all the cool Late for the Party merch on teespring.com, you guys. So either way, I am your host, Melodious, a.k.a. Coverboy, the Modern Marvel, signing off. And as always, if you're going to be late for the party, turn it up to 11.